I'm Devin from Careerified. Today I want to have a little chat with the parents and the guardians. We're sitting in my living room. Welcome. Grab yourself a coffee. We need to talk. Listen, I'm by no means a parenting expert, and you will never hear me say that I am. But over the past 15 years, I've worked with a lot of kids. And kids from grade 7 to really after they're not kids anymore, a little bit past graduation from post-secondary education. And what I have seen, and it doesn't seem to matter what the background is, where the kids come from, where they live, what I have seen over and over is the same mistakes we make as parents when we approach our kids about careers and education choices. So what I'm hoping to do with this video series is give you some tips on how to manage that better as a parent. It's not an easy thing to do. We all want to see our kids succeed, but we seem to be failing in the same places over and over. I'm seeing the same mistakes today that I saw 15 years ago, and the same mistakes that I saw made with my own classmates when I was in high school. So let's have some real conversations around those things. Today's tip is going to be around communication. When I worked in an admissions department at a community college, it was really frustrating constantly as a recruiter to get phone calls from parents about what their kids could do as a future career. And I can promise you that admissions, recruitment, and enrollment staff at institutions all across this country get daily headaches from all the eye rolling they do. For us, we're talking to students who are in their late teens, maybe early to mid 20s, and mom and dad are still making those inquiries for them. That's not a good thing. Now, I don't know if you realize, but there are pretty strict privacy laws in Canada. So when I was in the recruitment department, if somebody called and said, I'd like to know the status of my son or daughter's application, for example, I can't even confirm that they've applied because that's a breach of privacy. And it doesn't matter who's paying for it, and it doesn't matter if they're not 18, that is a breach of privacy. So that's something you need to be aware of. Second is just a few short years after they start post-secondary, they're going to be out in the world trying to network with people to find a job. And they don't know how to talk. They don't know how to talk to potential employers. They don't know how to ask questions. And if needed, they don't know how to advocate for what they want or need in the workplace. They wouldn't know how to negotiate a salary. So I wanted to make this tip first because I think it's something you can start with if your kids are quite young. Get them to talk to people whenever they can about whatever. So as an example, my 6-year-old always orders her own food if we're in a restaurant, right? She picks from the menu. When she was younger, we helped her figure out what was on the menu, but now she can read, so she knows what the choices are, and usually they have pictures anyway. So we get her to do it. Or if we're in a store and she has a question about something, we'll get her to go ask the sales staff about that. And it's a very tiny thing, but it means that I'm not going to be making phone calls for her when she's 20 years old in order to find out about a program or find out about a bank thing or whatever it might be. So I would say you really want to start that as early as you can and with as many opportunities as are possible, and you're going to be able to know for your child what works for them. That's this week's tip. Join me next week in the living room and we'll chat some more. Thanks.